Today I want to talk with you about a question that I've been getting many times. How do I get my spouse to work with me? Maybe you have a husband, maybe you have a wife, and you want to be able to coalesce your skills and talent because maybe you complement each other and you want to be able to put it out there into the world. Well, today, this video is going to cover it, and I have my wife recording me right now. So you better listen up because I'm telling you the facts. The first tip is to share your vision with your spouse. The other day, a guy came up to me and he says, man, I want to work with my wife. I want to be able to build a business. I want to have tons of money. And I said, that's good. But what exactly do you want to do? He had a vision for himself, but he never articulated it with his wife. Not only did he neglect to share the vision that he has with his wife, he also neglected to share bank accounts. How are you going to be able to build a business and understand your money if you and your spouse have different bank accounts? It's never going to work. When it comes to sharing your vision, you've got to make sure that your goals are compatible with each other. For instance, if you want to start a business and you have your wife or your husband that can help you to build that business, then that's going to work. But if you're trying to start a business and they're just trying to go to school and raise the kids, then that's not going to work. You're going to have to align with each other and make sure that your vision corresponds with each other and what you want to accomplish. Now, a lot of people ask me, well, what if my wife doesn't believe in what I do? Well, there's nothing I can really tell you. What I did personally was that I was proactive, and before I even decided to marry my wife, I made sure that she was willing to do anything and everything we needed to accomplish our goals together. The key word here is together. And because we believed in that plan and we were proactive in our choice, it allowed us to prosper along the way. Now you might be saying, well, did I marry the wrong woman? Did I marry the wrong husband? And the answer is no. You still have a choice. You can still sprinkle some of that vision on your spouse if you truly want to. It's going to take some time, but you're going to have to work on it, and eventually they'll be able to see that vision in perfect form. But you also have to prove yourself so that they believe in your plan and know that it can happen eventually in your lifetime. The second tip is to get feedback. When you're starting a business with your spouse, you need tons of feedback. Hey honey, how's this shirt look? Hey, what do you think about this house? Hey, what do you think about this car? If you're trying to make decisions on your own and you're not bringing in your wife or your husband, it's going to be a big problem. You have to make sure that your goals align with each other, but also your decisions that you make in the process are exactly what you have planned for the future. Now, when I say the word compromise, a lot of people get scared. They think that word means that they have to give up all their desires in order to please their spouse. That's not true at all. What I'm basically saying is that if you have a goal and that person has a goal, try to make it work together so you can create harmony and do something more beautiful than you had originally planned for only yourself. Getting feedback from your spouse is going to be the key to establishing your empire. If something happens to you and they can see it from an outside perspective and you cannot, that's going to help you every single step along the way. So get feedback from your spouse as often as you can. The third tip is to expand your ideas. Originally, when I started my business at the age of 22, I said to myself, all I want to do is teach the things that you don't learn in school, work, home, and church. Now, eventually, within 6 months of starting my business, the plan changed a little bit. The only thing that changed was that we decided to add a little bit more so we can complement our skills and start to expand our business by growing on a supplemental branch and expanding our income in the process. What exactly can you do with your spouse that can expand the idea that you originally started with? Maybe you said to yourself, all I'm gonna do is install toilets. All I'm gonna do is mix drinks at the bar. All I'm going to do is install TV sets. That's not where you're gonna end, buddy. It's gonna be much bigger than that, especially when you add your spouse in the mix and expand your ideas. The fourth tip is to ask for help. It's so important to ask your spouse for help. You might see your spouse sitting there and you might say, well, they can't help me do what I'm doing. You're absolutely wrong. You can bring them into your work and ask them for feedback, but also ask them for a hand so they can help you to grow it into something even larger. Let me give you a clear example. A lot of times I need to clean off my desk, and sometimes it can take 30 minutes, sometimes it could take 30 days. But all I have to do is shout out to my wife, and she comes and in just 10 minutes, she'll clear off everything. Now for me, that's a lot of help. That's something I cannot do on my own. And because I ask for help, it allows me to become a better person and expand my business. The fifth idea for getting your spouse to work with you is to motivate and encourage each other. A lot of times when you're working together, you're so close that sometimes you feel so far. So a lot of times you have to remind each other of those personal and professional goals so that you keep it fresh, so you keep it interesting and you keep it moving so you can reach your highest goals. A lot of times it's easy to get down on each other. It's easy to nitpick. It's easy to criticize, especially if you're with your spouse 10, 12 hours a day, especially when you have other goals and other roles that you're working on in your life. But if you keep on encouraging each other, and if you keep on believing in each other, eventually you'll be able to go further on your path. There's simple things that you can do all the time. You can ask your spouse, where do you want to go? Where do you want to be? Do you want to take a vacation? Do you want to go shopping? Do you want to take the kids out? Do you want to do this for a business? And a lot of times you can surprise them in many ways, but you have to be able to be mindful and stay on top of everything that you're doing so you can productively encourage your spouse. In summary, if you like this video, make sure you comment on the section below and add on to any other tips that you believe you can use to work on your spouse. Even if you don't have a spouse, I still want to hear your thoughts, so please let me know, and I look forward to reading your comments. Please subscribe to this channel so I can give you so much more.